keep an eye here on.
डेमोक्रेसी में अगर कोई बंदा कहे कि हम इस नेशन से अलाइन नहीं करते और हम पीसफुल तरीके से अपनी बात करेंगे और हम आज़ादी चाहते हैं पीसफुल तरीके से, उस चीज़ को रिस्पेक्ट करना डेमोक्रेसी की बहुत कोर वैल्यूज़ में आता है।
Imagine a scenario where someone running for their life approaches your doorstep, seeking refuge. After careful consideration and empathy, you decide to offer this individual shelter within your home. You have taken on the responsibility of ensuring this person's safety for as long as they remain within your premises. Tragically, a few days later, a deadly altercation occurs on your property, leading to the individual's untimely demise. This narrative closely mirrors the real-life events involving India-born Canadian activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, who met a tragic end in June 2023 in British Columbia. Hardeep Singh Nijjar hailed from the district of Jalandhar in the North Indian state of Punjab. In 1997, as a young man, he immigrated to Canada, where he built a life. He married, had 2 sons, and worked as a plumber. Settled in the province of British Columbia, he gained recognition as a vocal advocate for the creation of Khalistan, a proposed independent homeland for Sikhs, a religious minority constituting 2% of India's population. However, Nijjar's activism led to India labeling him a terrorist. He was accused of various activities, including being the alleged mastermind behind the Khalistan Tiger Force, KTF, a banned militant group in India. Tragically, at the age of 45, Nijjar was shot and killed by 2 assassins clad in dark clothing and hoods outside a Sikh temple in a Vancouver suburb on a summer evening in June. Eyewitnesses described how bullets shattered the windows of his grey pickup truck, fatally wounding him while he was behind the wheel. Bystanders, initially mistaking the gunshots for fireworks, soon realized the grim reality. Some gave chase and reported seeing the suspects flee in a waiting car. Nijjar lost his life at the scene of the crime. Prior to his death, Nijjar had reportedly been warned by Canadian intelligence services that he was on a hit list. India consistently denied any involvement in his assassination, dismissing allegations made by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as absurd. To his supporters, Nijjar, who became a Canadian citizen in 2007, was a peaceful advocate for Sikh independence in British Columbia. He was known as a community-minded individual, deeply invested in the welfare of his community. A substantial memorial was erected outside the Sarai Gurdwara, where he served as president, and his funeral was attended by hundreds. Despite his positive image in Canada, Nijjar was a wanted figure under India's Terrorist Act, facing charges related to various incidents, including a 2007 cinema bombing in Punjab that claimed 6 lives and injured 40 individuals, as well as the 2009 assassination of Sikh Indian politician Rulda Singh. In 2020, the Indian government accused Nijjar of actively participating in operationalizing, networking, training, and financing KTF members. He was further accused of running terrorist training camps in British Columbia, intended for individuals prepared to carry out attacks in India. In July 2022, India's National Investigation Agency offered a $1.2 million reward for any information on Nijjar. Reports of his alleged terrorist activities began circulating in India and later in Canada in 2016, with India conveying its concerns to Canadian authorities at that time. While Canadian authorities acknowledged the allegations, Nijjar was never charged in Canada. In 2016, Nijjar wrote a letter to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, identifying himself as a Sikh nationalist who believed and supported the right to self-determination and independence for Punjab. However, he firmly denied involvement in violent activities. At the time of his death, Nijjar had been planning a non-binding referendum in British Columbia regarding the creation of an independent state in India as part of a global campaign by the US-based group Sikhs for Justice, which is banned in India. On the day of his assassination, he delivered a speech encouraging temple members to participate in the referendum, emphasizing that it would send a strong message to the Indian government. The Khalistan movement advocating for Sikh independence has been a long-standing source of tension in Canada-India relations, which are currently strained. India staunchly opposes the Khalistan movement, and mainstream political parties in Punjab and India have consistently denounced violence and separatism. The demand for Khalistan reached its peak in the 1980s in India, leading to an armed insurgency that was later suppressed, resulting in significant casualties. The movement also triggered two of the most contentious incidents in Indian history: the storming of the Golden Temple, the holiest site for Sikhs, and the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. These events, which led to a large number of Sikh casualties, remain fresh in India's memory. Although the Khalistan movement has lost prominence in Punjab, its roots in Canada and Britain trace back to the 1980s as diaspora groups responded to the events in India. One of the most infamous incidents tied to the Khalistan movement was the 1985 bombing of an Air India flight from Toronto to London, resulting in the tragic loss of all 329 lives on board. After a lengthy investigation, 2 Sikh separatists in British Columbia were acquitted of murder and conspiracy charges in 2005, while a third individual was found guilty of manslaughter for his role in constructing the bomb. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has repeatedly accused Canada of not doing enough to suppress Sikh protests and anti-India activities in Canada. Nevertheless, many Khalistan supporters in Canada maintained that their movement is peaceful and they have been targeted by disinformation campaigns and harassment from India. The Khalistan movement remains a sensitive issue for India, with the scars of the 1980s violence still fresh. All political parties in India adamantly oppose Sikh independence, and consequently, no Indian government can overlook the Khalistan issue in the interest of diplomatic relations. Thank you.